of Medicine, Durham, North Carolina, will bring you to the office, or welcome you to the office of Dr. Pierre Owusu, who is the administrator for Go Durham. That's the transport system, bus transport system right here in North Carolina. He tells us a story about how, he got to become a doctor and what kind of doctor he is, and of course the role he plays in transportation business right here in North Carolina. Thank you, sir, for having us. I hope you're well, sir.
I'm very, very happy, very excited to have my story told to the Ghanaian community. I'm a Ghanaian by birth, even though my accent makes me feel like I'm not, but I'm a Ghanaian, and again, I'm excited. Yes, I'm the transit administrator of the second largest system in North Carolina.
Wow.
In terms of how I started off, I left Ghana several years ago in 85, 86. Been here, going to school here, all my schooling, Georgia Tech, University of Georgia, and then the University of Phoenix, where I did my doctorate degree in organizational management. First job was in Atlanta. From Georgia Tech, that was my first job. I worked for the transit system in Atlanta called MARTA. I was one of those who helped bring the MARTA system into the airport, Hartsfield Airport. I worked for MARTA for some time, and then, of course, I left and went to manage another system in Greenville, South Carolina. And I've been with this system here in Durham for the past 24 years now. It's been quite an eye-opening experience. One thing that I've never forgotten is my heritage, Ghana. I've been to Ghana several times. I've helped in any way possible to bring in some of the ideas and make sure others are trained, and I'm still doing that.
So if I get you right, you came here originally for school.
Yes.
And then after school you stayed on to work. So it looks like, for the story you told me, all your working experiences has been with the transport business.
That's correct.
Was it by coincidence or it was by choice?
At Georgia Tech, I got interested in transportation. In fact, anybody arriving from Africa, one of the things that will be exciting is to look at the transport system here. From where we are in my office, going to my house, I have 5 ways to get to my house. And I've never experienced traffic congestion. There's almost 250,000 people in this, what we call small city. But transport is such that, very, very important in America. Time is the whole reason why transportation is very important. Time is so critical. Unfortunately, people don't see that in Ghana. I was earlier on giving an example of the Kosombo Road between what you call the Timber Market and just talk about this junction, what do you call the Michelle Camp Junction. You see traffic jam, so much so, but people don't really see how important it is that they have to get where they have to in time. Right.
What do you think is the problem for the Ghanaian system, because you keep making reference to the system of transportation in Ghana?
It's one of two things. I think the main issue is when we go from government to government, we do not carry on the projects that are already outlined. Governments come, governments go, but projects should be sustained. And the other thing is the importance that we give to transportation. It's so critical. Another example that I'll give you, over here, one death on the road can cause a whole policy and road change and everything. It's not so in Ghana. I remember where I came to Ghana, and there was this whole project where somebody was going to bring trucks to take away cars that are in the middle of the road at night and so on. Trucks that have problems sitting in the middle of the road. And that was a very wonderful idea, but it never happened. Why? Because the packaging wasn't right and the marketing didn't go right. And of course, politics also was part of it. So what I'm saying is we have to understand the importance of transportation to the overall development of any nation. If Ghanaians were able to move as fast as they do here, a lot of things would happen. I mean, what has saved us is the fact that communication these days, not just by physically moving, but by internet and of course by phones. That has really saved us. Otherwise, we will still be wandering in the dreamland.
Having had these exposure, you know, and the fact that you talk about the love you have for your motherland, Ghana, have you ever thought of returning to implement some of these things you've learned? Have you made an effort to infiltrate the system with what you have gathered here?
Yes, big time. As early as the mid-2000, I was able to arrange and bring a contingent of engineers and planners, in fact, during President Kufuor's time. And we actually did make a whole lot of promises to get things done. Apart from that, I've also come in and taught. In fact, you can see on the wall pictures with me and the Ghana mass transit team. Some of the leaders over there, I'm talking about the guy in charge of the current Metro Mass. He knows me by first name. And I've been really, really helpful in terms of resource, teaching them. I used to come and every time give them ideas as to how they can manage. They know a lot of the stuff, but over here there's just so much change. Today you've gone through our electric bus. I'm the one who wrote the grant and got everything to the point where right now we are getting more. In fact, in 10 years, all the buses, 180 buses, everything will be electric. And I set the stage for that. If I'm gone, somebody else knows exactly what to do, where to pick up, where I'm leaving off.
Are you happy about the state of our Yalulu transportation system? That's the Metro Mass.
Obviously, with the standard that I have, what I would say is no. And it's a combination of factors. The support, I don't know the level of support. I cannot judge them by what I see, but one time
you've had conversations with them, so
right,
I'm sure you know what the situation is.
It boils down to the importance that is placed on transportation. That is the bottom line. And the idea of importance. Yes, and the idea of time. I mean, time is so much in demand. Everybody wants to move and move very fast. But I am not happy for sure. But where to actually place the blame is very, very tricky. The people who are there will do everything with the little means that they have. How do we do it? There are a lot of ideas. When I come in there and I was giving an example of where I see this road choked. Meanwhile, the right of way is government. The land is there. You can pave, even if you don't asphalt, pave and get the things moving. And people will be very happy. Look at the Temamoto Way and the runabout with that little change. That is what I'm talking about. The white man, the Westerners have been able to go to the moon, and we are still struggling to go to our village. It's such a problem. And when people come from here, they complain. It's not like there is a standard yardstick. It's like the pace of improvement is so slow. It's going to happen, but unfortunately not in our lifetime is what I see. Yeah, I'm serious. Looking back and seeing what I'm seeing, it's certainly going to be happening. I mean, all these countries, they go through that. I mean, all these so-called developed, they went through that. But the question is, how long should we take us, given the fact that there is an example? I mean, if you look at China's experiment, China's experience, I mean, 50 years ago, China was somewhere behind us. But look at us. If you hear the story of where we were during independence compared to Indonesia and all these other countries, it's like we need a breakthrough. And a very good example, as I always say, it's not sometimes people think you have to have money. No, it's not money. It's planning. It's sustenance. The fact that you have to maintain the tempo. Make sure you do. Governments will go and governments will come, but be sure that you do what you say you're going to do. And forget about the people not voting for you. That is not what it is.
So talking about that, you think that some of these things have been politicized? Because currently in Ghana, what's happening is fix the country, and the response is fix your attitude. I don't know how it works here, whether you call on your government or you call on them to fix things, and they tell you there's your attitude, there's a problem. That's the current conversation that is happening in Ghana, where even if you ask them to fix roads, they say fix your attitude.
Oh, well, in America you can't do that, because guess what? My salary is paid by the people. And when we went to the terminal, our bus terminal, I said upstairs is our big room where every month we meet the whole public. And we call that grappling session. They tell us what they are doing right, what we are not. In Ghana, engineers and planners will plan stuff, and I wonder how involved are the people who they are doing these things for. In America, when somebody calls, a customer calls, you better listen to them, because it's because of them that you are where you are. And so customers and of course the citizens are very, very important. That is not what I see in Ghana. We do things and just go scot-free. I don't know, I'm just saying that my experience, the lot of experience I got from working with the guys over there is they can do a whole lot without the involvement of the general public, and that's one of their reasons.
You say you're waiting to come home very soon to change things. With all the attitude you've seen and the fact that we are so indifferent about a lot of things, you think that you alone, and even if it's a group of you who lived abroad that came back, you think you can make any difference? Well,
let me tell you, let me say this. I really saw that when I think of the enormity of the gap between us in Africa and here. But we shouldn't be worried about the gap. We should be worried about the steps we are taking. That's why I said maybe not in our lifetime, but we have to put things in place and make sure that we never stop imagining, we never stop making things happen. A lot of guys, us who have seen it and are coming back, the ideas eventually will bubble up and will float everybody's boat. Basically, that is what is needed. When I go to Ghana, of course, I see a lot of changes, gradual. But the problem is people have to understand that we don't have to suffer the way we have. We could have done much better than where we are now. That is very, very important. And if anybody tells you we need money to do that, you tell them, and I don't know if you want to put this in the news, but if you think it's only money, Nigeria would have been a superpower. The money that has gone through that country and where they are now compared. It's not money, it's just ideas. And there should be a champion, somebody who says, this is my life's work. I don't care whether you vote for me or not, it is going to happen. Just like if you heard Kwame Nkrumah, those days we heard of prestigious projects. We heard of motorway and this and that. Today, it's our lifeline. So what I really want to see is to get people who are dedicated and who make sure. The problem is cycle, poverty. And people get in there, politicians, and even if they don't, they'll be encouraged to do what they do. But you have to have people who are dedicated. And
if you say they'll be encouraged to do what they do, is like they'll succumb to powers that be?
That's exactly what. They will succumb to the wishes of people who have not really seen the other side. I mean, as I was telling you, if you come to America, you come to school and you go back, you really haven't tasted and felt the American way.
You need to work here.
You need to call it the American dream. For you to go through the cycle and be where you are, you have to taste and see. Right now, I can tell you there's certain few things that Americans do, and they do very well. And if we could, for example, credit card system. In America, everybody has debt. And it is that which carries the country. But guess what? The system is so designed as to make sure that if you have debt, you will pay. Why? Because the credit system is so designed that we know you have your ID card, you will not get the money and then go and live in Togo or come from Togo and come and take it and go back. And the government will set the pace for you and step aside and you do it. The biggest employer in America is not the government, it's the private sector. In Ghana, it's the reverse. The biggest employer is the government. And revenues are so low compared to the needs. And that's where we are.
As a Ghanaian,
right.
In the position where you sit, you work with people who are not Ghanaians, you work with the white folks and all of that. Tell me how it feels to be in this position.
It's not simple. It's not easy. But one thing is, leadership means taking the hard decision and at the end of the day saying, I did my best. You cannot ever think that everybody will like you. You'll be in a dreamland. But my gosh, they better respect the office. And they do, period. How do I say that? The way you conduct yourself. You came in, I wanted you to meet my staff, white and black, everybody. When I pick up the phone, everybody knows the boss is calling or talking. It's the position, not the person. And so overall, I've been very happy. I have done mine, but of course, there will always be what they call in America the bad apples. But if you know how to put them, where to put them, you would be okay. And at the end of the day, you say, I did my best. And that's all it is.
Well, we're looking forward to having you return to Ghana like you dream of. And we hope that you're able to impact and make the changes that you've dreamt about, the ones that you have made here through the experiences that you've gathered as well. So thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to speak to you. We look forward to greater times with you in Ghana.
Good, great. And I will also say, that's very important for you to say that, because at a certain stage in life, you tend to believe that, look, what is important? And one of the things that I've decided I'm going to do is to help in a more practical way. In fact, I've teamed up with a business school. In fact, we were there 2 years ago. We did all the arrangement. We're bringing students, and the idea was to exchange students.
Okay. Which business school? University of Ghana?
University of Ghana, Legon. That's my school. That's where I went.
Oh, I see.
And if you go and talk to the dean, he will tell you, yeah, we were there. We did all the arrangement.
So you're going to have students from here,
go there,
go to Ghana.
Yeah, from my department, go to Ghana. In fact, we plan it for 3 weeks and then 6 weeks, and then students from there will come here. We did everything. We were ready to send monies and get everybody prepared. We were getting people's visas, and all of a sudden, COVID happened and everything. But hopefully, we are going to continue that. And this day and age, you don't have to see the person. I mean, what COVID has taught us is that there's so many ways of working. And hopefully going to be doing a lot of what you call long distance teaching, and hoping that I don't need any money. I'm not talking about paying me for anything. Just impart what I think I have gathered here as a lot of kind of
way of giving back
to
what
I got.
Thank you very much, Dr. Owusu.
Thank you so much. Yeah.